Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. When all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk Today. It's a new week. I'm Lawrence Presman. He's Teddy Covers, and you're watching the best daily sports betting show on the planet. Teddy, we got a jam-packed show. We're going to bring Meghan in very quickly. Before we do that, how did you do this weekend?
Nothing to write home about. I'll put it that way. We made we eked out a little profit on Saturday, and yesterday in the NFL was not a good day. Unfortunately, for the clients, had the one winner with Kansas City against San Fran, but unfortunately, that was the only one. And I put a late ad in, too. I don't usually do it. I put a late ad in on the Broncos thinking, look, the Joes are all over them. The pros are all over them. You know, they're not going to be any worse without Russell Wilson. That wasn't any fun either. So not a great day yesterday, Prez. What about yourself? I
had the Broncos as well. It wasn't a late entry. It was I like them all week entry. And yeah, you take the dude. I have lost on the Broncos 6 weeks in a row or something like that. Whether it's a total, a side, playing on them, playing against them, the Broncos are like my Atlanta Falcons of old. A team that I am now taking off the list of bets. But I had a great weekend, man. I won on Friday. I won on Saturday, and yesterday was a 6-3 NFL day. I had 9 plays, but in those 9 plays, 3 of them are prop bets, and my prop bets are just slaughtering right now. 3-0 yesterday. Are you in play? It's $9 Monday. Are you in play tonight?
I'm in play with NBA tonight. I'm not playing the Monday Night Football game. No, if I was going to play it, I'd have played New England, and I had to play it early, and I missed it early, and I'm not playing it at 8.5. So no action for me tonight.
That's $9 Monday, everybody, and I am in action. I have both a bet on the game and a prop bet for you. It's only $9, so 2 NFL bets for tonight for $9, and I have 2 NHL bets as well. Teddy, who's on the show? And then let's get it going.
Well, we got Meghan starting right on top. Meghan Payton, she's going to talk Monday Night Football props. We're going to talk Ramondre Stevenson, David Montgomery, and total touchdowns for the game. Marco D'Angelo is also going to take a look at the Monday Night Football game tonight, as well as a look ahead for Notre Dame and Syracuse in college football action. Of course, Drew Martin's been on fire of late. He's going to give us his take on Monday Night Football. He's going to talk about Miami and Detroit in the NFL as well. Again, my big game breakdown, NBA style. Let's start the show and roll.
Awesome stuff. Meghan Payton, how are you?
Hey guys, happy Monday. Thank you, Teddy. Thank you, Prez, for coming, letting me come on. I do have to say real quick, Teddy, you hyped me up last week. You were giving me all of this, positive encouragement about my bets hitting. And guess what? I had my first losing Monday of the season so far. So we have to bounce back this week. So I'm a little bit superstitious. It has to be a good one.
I'm sorry I mushed you. I'll do my best not to do it today.
Meghan, what's a Sunday like for you? Teddy, me, Marco, I got a bank of televisions. Are you watching NFL start to finish?
Start to finish. So, we've got Red Zone on the big TV. I've got my computer with some of the games that I'm specifically betting on or eyeing. And then, you've got to bring your phone up. So there's a lot of screens going on. I got AirPod in one ear, regular speakers in the other, and it's a fun-filled day of football. You can't complain about it. It's, if anyone texts me or calls me on Sunday, I say, just, don't even expect a response. I'll get back to you on Tuesday.
Well said. Okay, you got 3 prop bets. They're all for tonight. I hand the mic over to you, and Teddy will ask a question if he wants to afterwards.
All right. Well, I love an over, and I know this game, a lot of people are finding ways to bet the under, and we will bet unders here. But my first player prop is going to be over 61.5 rushing yards for running back Ramondre Stevenson. He's such a good story for this Patriots offense. He's an undervalued running back, and Damian Harris goes out with that hamstring injury. And what does Stevenson do? He steps up to the plate. Second-year running back. He really talked about this offseason. He lost a lot of weight, got in shape, wanted to kind of develop a bit more. And this over has hit every single week that his rushing prop has been listed. He is one of the most undervalued players, I think, that Vegas is looking at. I love the over all day. And even though Damian Harris is most likely going to be playing tonight, I don't know how much that's really going to affect Stevenson's production. As we said, he's been having a fantastic season so far. Let Harris kind of work his way back in there slowly. Let him recover from that hamstring injury. Rely a little bit more on Stevenson. I like over 61.5 for that, but we have to talk some unders. I'm going to take the under 52.5 rushing yards for David Montgomery. Now, I know the Chicago Bears have to rely on the run game. It's about all they've got going for them offensively right now. They are averaging 170 rushing yards per game, which is second in the league. Having said that, the Patriots allowing 117 rushing yards per game, that's 16th in the league. I don't know if David Montgomery has proven himself to be the number one back in Chicago. I mean, look at Khalil Herbert. He had 72 rushing yards last week. The over 52.5 has only hit twice for David Montgomery. I think Justin Fields will use him in the pass game as he can. I just don't see this being a big run game for Montgomery. Look at Khalil Herbert, who's really has more of an explosive play. I think there's more potential from just a yards past the carry, how many yards you can get, how many pushing through different linemen. How can you just make production? I think Khalil Herbert has proven himself a little bit more than Montgomery this season. And my last prop for you is under 4.5 total touchdowns. These are two of the worst red zone offenses in the league. The Patriots are 29th in the league. The Bears are 28th. The Bears put up 15.5 points per game. That's 30th in the league. We know that neither of these are super strong offenses. The Patriots are averaging 2.7 touchdowns per game. The Bears 1.5. I don't think we're going to see a thriller Monday night high-scoring game. Take the under and grab yourself something to eat because it might be a little bit of a slower game.
So let's talk about Stevenson for a minute, who has obviously been an over machine in recent weeks. You talked about Harris coming back tonight after missing last time, but you don't think that's going to be an issue in terms of the carries for Ramondre Stevenson or his rushing yardage tonight. Tell me why. Because in general, if you're splitting carries, all of a sudden those overs become a lot tougher to get to, and it looks like that's going to be the situation this evening. Harris only missed the one game for New England.
You're absolutely right. And you look at what did Stevenson have when Harris was playing? 161 yards. You can split reps and still hit over 61.5. Stevenson had 72 or 76 last week against the Browns. And when you're dealing with a running back that has an injury, to me, why give him the ball so many times if it's working? I don't think the Patriots will need to rely on Harris if Stevenson is doing his job, which I believe he will be. Let him get fully healthy. Obviously, we expect him to play, but to me, it's kind of like if something's working, why change it? When a running back's kind of hot, which Stevenson is, I don't see why the Patriots will have to worry too much about Damian Harrison for this game.
Megan, I have a question for you about the touchdown prop bet. So 5 touchdowns, and I'm not a math guy. 5 touchdowns and 1 field goal is 38. Why would you not take the under? Do you like the under in the game better, but you're just coming on to give out props? Or do you like under 4.5 touchdowns better than the under in the game?
I like both. I mean, we're coming on here talking props. I like the under as the total for sure. So that's a great point that you're bringing up. But specifically just from a touchdown perspective, there is part of me that leans a little bit more to that because just specifically with how these teams are in the red zone scoring touchdowns. So when I say they're 28th and 29th in red zone efficiency, that's specifically with touchdowns. That's not great. And we know that the Patriots have improved, I think, defensively in the last couple of weeks. The Bears have done a good job as well, and the offenses just can't seem to get things going completely. And, we expect to see Mac Jones out there tonight. Do you expect him to have this huge game, or do you expect it to be slower? I expect it to be slower, and I don't know. It's going to be a lot of field goals. If you have any kickers in your fantasy, this might be the time to put them in.
Meghan Payton, everyone. Outstanding work, Meghan. We love having you on the show. Thanks for joining us. Anything to promote? Anything to talk about?
Yeah, we're doing each week. We've got some fun new segments that we're doing here at Wager Talk. Plus Money Pick. Let's just say if the Giants are an underdog and they continue to be one, which they already are for the fourth, fifth week in a row, that's a little like teaser for you. We're probably going to be taking that again as our Plus Money Pick, which has hit twice in a row. We recap a lot of things. We're going to do a storyline of the week later this afternoon. All of this is on WagerTalk.com on YouTube. I appreciate you guys having me on every Monday. Hoping for a better week. Don't jinx me again, Teddy. Let's have a good Monday.
Yeah, Teddy, it's all you.
It's all you.
Yeah, Teddy. We got your B6 coming up. A real quick question. Aaron Rodgers really channeled Justin Shields yesterday. Man, how far has the pack dropped in your power rating?
Who's Justin Shields?
Fields.
Oh,
I said it wrong.
How far have the pack dropped? They have dropped below. I believe they're below an average NFL team right now. Right with the, they're middle of the pack. They're not. But I think I have them a little bit below average. I don't have it up in front of me. If you want to hear all my NFL opinions, be sure to tune in to the NFL Opening Line Report. Top of the hour, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern. Drew Martin and myself will break down every single game. We'll talk about where the lines are, where they're likely to move, and give some thoughts on what just happened and what's likely to happen. So you can get all my power rating numbers and all that. Just watch Opening Line Report 45 minutes from now.
Teddy, you're up, brother. Big game B6, and then Marco D'Angelo. I hand the mic to you.
Let's get into it. A little bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books. They call it B6 like a vitamin. This is a recap of what just happened this past weekend. And we got to start with some bad beats on Saturday. Woo! There were some doozies. Toledo -7 at Buffalo. They lead 27-10 after 3. Final score, Buffalo 34-27. The game snuck over the total on the last touchdown as well. Huge comeback for the Bulls. Cincinnati -3.5. They led 17-0 early. They led 29-14 with just over 5 minutes to play. A long-minute SMU TD drive, a 3-and-out, another SMU TD drive, and of course the missed 2-point conversion, so you got no chance to get an overtime. 29-27 final. Cincy gets the win, no cover. Tough beat for Bearcats backers. Washington -7.5 against Cal. They dominated that game. They dominated the first half completely, and they led 6-0 at the break. Red zone failures and a missed field goal. They dominated the second half too. They're up 2 touchdowns late. Cal, 4th and long touchdown pass, cuts the lead to 7. The clock's run out. Washington -7.5, no good. That was tough. Kansas State, they were as high as +6. They led TCU 28-10. They didn't score again, lost 38-28. Louisiana Monroe is as high as +7.5. They led 17-7 in Army. They lost 48-24. Indiana +3. They led at Rutgers 14-0. They lost 24-17. Early leads getting blown in college football. In the NFL, I mean, the closest thing I saw to a bad beat yesterday was probably the Jags-Giants over. That was an inch or two away, and the two teams combined to go 3 of 10 in the red zone. Yeah, pretty tough if you had the over in that game. Of course, an inch away at the end, didn't get there. I think that was the toughest beat in the NFL yesterday. When it comes to bad bets, let's see. Oh, this was in my pocket. BYU -5.5 bet up to -7 at Liberty. They led 14-3 after 1 and didn't score again. 41-14, Liberty killed them. Texas money, they were bet up to -6.5, -7. They lost outright at Oklahoma State. Clemson money, -14.5 against Syracuse. They fell behind early. Ugalele got benched down double digits. They rallied for the win. They never sniffed a cover in that ball game. On Sunday, bad bets. Let's see. Tampa Bay got bet up, -9.5, -11, -13. That was in my pocket, too. They got bombed at Carolina. And I take on the sharp square divide. Look at the pros yesterday. They bet Tampa, wrong. Jacksonville, wrong. San Fran, wrong. Those are all bad bets. The public kicked the snot out of the wise guys on yesterday. The wise guys did win with the Jets on Sunday. Comes for bad for books. Let's see. Boise suddenly on fire. Ohio State, minus 29 up to minus 31 against Iowa. They won 54-10. The over got bet up too. But really bad for books mostly came on Sunday. Atlanta, Cincinnati total as low as 43.5, bet up to 48. That flew over the total. Carolina, Tampa under got pounded, 21-3 final in that game. New York Jets, Denver under got pounded, 16-9 final in that game. The pros and the Joes both on the Jets. That was one of the worst games of the season for the house. And of course, my take on the sharp square divide yesterday had the Joes betting Tennessee winner, Giants winner, Jets winner, Seahawks winner. That means parlays cash. That means teasers cash. All the public plays came in for bettors yesterday. Bookmakers likely to be whining on a Monday morning. There you have it, Prez. Bad beats, bad bets, and bad for the books. Back to you.
Teddy, when you look at a game like I lost yesterday on the under in the Washington Green Bay game, and look, it was on pace to go over right from the beginning.
Exactly.
Yet,
I looked at it, and I didn't call it a bad beat for that very reason.
Right. So your bad beats are all about the later on in the game, right? Not the fact that almost every score was off of a turnover or, Aaron Fields put up like 80 yards in the air. The whole game was playing to the under except for turnovers and bad field position. So when you're looking at these games, you're looking at they're up and then they had a tough loss, not the whole game in its entirety. Because I felt like Washington Green Bay was a stone cold under.
Okay. Who's Aaron Fields? You keep trying to give people Fields as their last name.
Yeah, because I said that Aaron Rodgers was channeling Justin Fields. So now I combined him into one guy.
You messed up Justin Fields' name. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So when I'm looking for bad beats, I'm looking for something that's a freaking bad beat. We know what a bad beat is. A bad beat is when you have a bad beat is a right side that goes wrong. That's what we can call it. Okay, a right side that goes wrong. The worst bad beats are very right sides that go very wrong in unbelievable ways. But for the purposes of the bad beat segment every Monday, we're not going to come on. I mean, there's going to be something up there. I'm certainly. My criteria are only what I saw, and paid attention to. And then that wasn't, to me, that was a game that was on an overpace throughout, and it got over. And I know that it could have easily ended up 23-14, but it ended up 23-21. It wasn't, I didn't look at that as a bad beat. And I watched the end.
Just for the record, Dan, our producer, complimented me on the callback of mixing Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields. So, thanks, Dan. You got it. Marco D'Angelo, how was your weekend, my friend?
Come on and tell you when we are doing well, and it's been a great football season until this weekend. I had my worst weekend of the season. Saturday was bad, and Sunday was bad as well. So not a fun weekend for me. Just nothing you can do about it. And when Teddy opens it up and says that the Joes have a good day, you can rest assured that I'm not going to have a good weekend. That's just the way it kind of works out.
Yeah, and for me, I kicked myself all day yesterday for not taking the Giants. It's stupid. But anyway, Marco, we got a game going tonight. Chicago, New England. The line keeps getting bet up. Lots of money pouring in on New England. Where are you going in this one, my friend?
Well, full disclosure on this one, guys. I don't have an actual client play on this game tonight, but I do have action on tonight's game. And I gave my clients yesterday a 2-team teaser with Miami last night, which was a lot closer than that should have ever been, to New England today, -2. With that said, I do lean to the New England side. We've seen this line creep up a little bit. Then we've got the word that Mac Jones is going. A lot of people liked the rookie. He was playing well. Why wouldn't you? He was completing like 74% of his passes. So Mac Jones figured he better get back in the lineup or he's going to get feel like Drew Bledsoe when Tom Brady came around and stepped in. But I look at this, and as bad as the Bears have been all year, surprisingly, they have only had one game that's been outside of this 8-point spread tonight. Ironically, that one game was the Sunday night game against the Green Bay Packers. And I point that out simply because the Bears are bad, and oftentimes I think teams look past them when they're playing them and let them hang around in games. They have no offense. This is a team that scoring 15 and a half points per game. The only team worse than them is the Denver Broncos, and they're going against a New England team that plays good defense. They're number 7 defensively in points allowed. So it's going to be a struggle for the Bears tonight, and we all know Bill Belichick, when he's facing a young quarterback, he dominates them. Young quarterbacks have always struggled against Bill. So I like New England. Can I get to the window tonight? Obviously, I'm going to be happy with my teaser play. If I was playing the game, it's New England. If you want to look for a teaser with New England, it's still there. I really thought this line would shoot up to 9 as a teaser blocker, and that's why we got in early with it. But find something on the Sunday card that you can hook it up with if you want to bring that price down.
So we just talked about that. I'm going to talk about the contrarian angle here for a minute, because to me this is kind of an interesting way to go about this game. We just talked about the books got clocked yesterday. It was not a good day for the house on Sunday. We have a big public favorite on Monday night. I'm seeing all the consensus numbers heavy on New England. There's not all of them. It's not one of these, well, this book is shaded, but that book isn't. Wherever you are, whatever bookmaker, wherever you are as a bookmaker, you'll be rooting for the Bears tonight and probably pretty heavy. The books got clocked all weekend, and there's clearly a contrarian play on Monday night. Isn't that your optimal contrarian scenario where you want to take the points with the ugly underdog? Especially for a capper like you, Mark, or you look for stuff like that.
I can't disagree with you, but the fact is this is a Monday night game. It's a standalone game. New England is not one of those type of teams that can take a team for granted. Bill Belichick just doesn't allow that. He's too good of a coach. If this was a game that was on the Sunday card, Teddy, I would be sneaking a Chicago Bears play in probably, but not on the national spotlight, especially after we saw how many big guns went down yesterday. Green Bay, Tampa Bay. You can't take anything for granted. The Carolinas a dumpster fire, and yet they found a way to win yesterday. So I think New England shows up. But again, I'm not laying the 8.5 in this game, but I don't trust the Bears enough to go out there and get the ticket, because where are they going to get their points from? That's my question. Justin Fields has more interceptions than touchdown passes this season.
Marco D'Angelo, everybody. He doesn't lay 8s. He only lays 10s. Marco, Notre Dame at Syracuse. Where are you going here, brother?
Guys, we've had a lot of success coming on the show on Mondays. We always do the Monday Night Football game, and then I always give you a look ahead where I try to find a spot. And once again, last week, 2-0 on the show with it. That spot play last week was Arizona State. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. It cashed the ticket. I've got another one of those this week, and we're looking at the Notre Dame-Syracuse game. And for Syracuse, what a season it's been for them. They were undefeated going into Saturday. 2 weeks ago, they played top 25 NC State, beat them at home, then went on the road and gave undefeated Clemson all they could handle. They were leading that game going into the fourth quarter. Got outscored 17-0 in the fourth quarter to lose that game in gut-wrenching fashion. I got to question what they have left in the tank this week to play Notre Dame. Now, I know Notre Dame's just 4-3, but if you look at their schedule, the 3 losses that they had, I can make an excuse, so to speak, for them. They played Ohio State opening game, new head coach, and they gave Ohio State an absolute battle in that game. Everybody had Ohio State blowing them off the field. They easily covered the plus 17. Then the next week, this is where all of the haters started on the new coach. They lost to Marshall. How many times do we say it? When you focus so much on one game and you come up short, you have that hangover effect the next week. And as we say, you can lose the same game twice. They did. They lost to Marshall that week. Then they've now won 4 of their last 5 games. The only game they lost in that stretch was 2 weeks ago against Stanford at home. Rivalry game, they play Stanford, almost every year. But if you look at the game before that, they were here in Vegas for the Shamrock Series. That is a big game for Notre Dame. That how well Notre Dame travels. If you were here in Vegas, all you saw was the Irish green all over the strip for that game. They got the win and then came back home and played Stanford and laid an egg. They took care of business last week. Now they're catching Syracuse. I feel in an absolute flat spot. I am going to take Notre Dame to get the job done. I just do not see Syracuse being able to pick themselves up off the mat. Not only did you lose a game that you had won, but you also blew your undefeated season. I'm going with Notre Dame to win this one outright.
Marco, awesome stuff. What do you got to promote? I know today is your first NHL play of the season, right? $9 Monday, first NHL play of the season, and your college football promo ends today, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, we have a special deal on the college promo. Last day to do it, and it sounds funny to be pushing it after my worst weekend of the year, but that's when you want to get me to bounce back, guys. It's been a good football season. We're going to bounce back, get the rest of the college football season for just $3.99 when you use the coupon code CFB50, $3.99, but you also get 30 days all access as a free bonus when you sign up today. So that would get you that hockey play that I have going today, and it is my first hockey play of the season. I let them play a little bit before we get involved, and last year we finished the hockey season on a 68-35 run for a profit of 69 units. Check it out over on my homepage.
And in case anybody's interested, I have seen Marco's NHL play, and it is presidentially approved. We're going to take a quick break. We got Teddy's Big Game Breakdown, the incredible Drew Martin joining us, looking chill, getting ready. And of course, if we get to 100 likes, I got 3 bets for you guys in the daily presidential address. Damn.
Marco D'Angelo is like a fine wine as he just gets better with age. Since 1980, Marco has been one of the industry's leading handicappers, and this year is no different. Marco is currently the #1 handicapper at WagerTalk this season in college football in both winning percentages and money won, sitting at 27-15 for a net profit of 29 units. The rest of the college football season, including all the college football games, is $4.99. Last year, Marco was 13-4 in bowl games and for a net profit of 34 units. For a limited time, you can take $50 off that price when you use coupon code CFB50, making your final cost just $3.99. And for the first 10 who sign up, we have a free bonus, a $299 value, comping you a 30-day all-access subscription that will include all of Marco's NFL, NBA, and NHL plays for free. Why do you want to bet with Marco in October? Last October, Marco was #1 in the NFL at WagerTalk. His NFL plays went 14-7-2, netting 23 units. His NHL plays went 4-0, he was up 8 units, and his NBA plays went 3-1, up 4 units. You'll want to hurry, this is a limited time offer.
It is time for today's big game breakdown, and I can call this a big game because one of the two teams is still undefeated. One of only 4 undefeated teams in the NBA, but one of them has only played 2 games. One of the few 3-0 teams in the NBA. Of course, that would be the Utah Jazz. and the Houston Rockets. Right now, look at the WagerTalk live odds screen. I'm seeing Utah 2-point road favorites. Total has been bet up. We're seeing Utah money and over money as we speak. I certainly agree with the over money, but we're going to take a look at the first half over, not the full game over in this one. Let's start with this. The Rockets can't play a lick of defense. They're dead last in the NBA. They're allowing more than 118 points per 100 possessions. This is very similar to what we saw from last year under Steven Silas, a team that isn't really engaged on the defensive end of the court on a night-in, night-out basis. But they sure have athleticism, and they sure like to play with pace, a top 5 pace, athletes over the floor. They love to get out and run the break. Utah has shooters, and a bunch of them. Mike Conley, Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Lauren Markkinen. I can go on and on. You know, this is not a team of bunch of guys who are just stuck here. They got some players, and we've seen it so far. Obviously, they're 3-0. The Jazz, overtime win in New Orleans yesterday. Overtime win in Minnesota on Friday. This is their third game in 4 nights. When you have tired legs, where do they show? On defense, that's where they show. So you have one team playing with pace, you have another team with tired legs. I do worry about someone falling behind and not having the energy to catch up this evening. So that's why we're going to look at the first half over. 114.5, the prevailing number as we speak. Let's look for a relatively high-scoring first half between the Jazz and the Rockets on Monday night. Over first half. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Awesome stuff, Teddy covers. Drew Martin joining us. Drew, man, I love having you on this show. One of, if not the best host at Wager Talk. You have a million shows you do, including one coming up in 25 minutes with Theodore Kowarewski. How are you, my friend?
Prez, happy Monday morning to you, man. Teddy, always a pleasure. Thanks for the kind words there, Prez. But, hey, you're doing a fine job yourself here, the host of Wager Talk Today, Prez.
We no complimenting the Prez, dude. He does it himself all day long.
Yeah.
Prez,
I don't need any help.
No, you're an entertaining dude. You're an entertaining dude. And actually, Prez, when you were saying, guys, if we get 100 likes, I think you said something about getting 3 play. I thought you were going to say, I'll take my shirt off or something like that. I never know what you're going to say next, man. So that's kind of what makes the
Drew, if we got 100 likes, I took my shirt off, we would never get 100 likes again.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Brother, your 5% play won yesterday. You've swept 3 Sundays in a row. Awesome stuff. Now we're done with that. Let's get into the Monday Night Football game. So far on this show, we've had Meghan come on, Stevenson over 61.5 rushing yards, Montgomery under 52.5 rushing yards, and under 4.5 total touchdowns. Marco showed up and talked about taking the dog. Where are you in this game, brother?
Well, Prez, it looks like my camera froze. So when I'm done with this analysis, I'm going to reset. I'll come right back. But actually for tonight.
No, refresh.
Yeah, refresh
now. Yeah,
okay, I will refresh.
Yeah, take your time. And of course, if you just to be clear, Marco came on and said that he liked the favorite, not the dog. He said that he liked New England, not Chicago.
But he can't lay the number.
That's bad. Marco's recommendation was to the favorite, not to the underdog. So once again, Prez, you've been on the show for 40 minutes, and that's the 8th time I've corrected you. But keep going.
Once again, you have found a mistake. Why don't you just pull it out and pee all over my Walk of Fame star, Teddy?
Okay? All I can say is when you tell the viewing audience the exact opposite of what the guest just told the viewing audience, and tell them that's the guest play, that's worthy of correction.
You are correct, but only
Drew, what were you saying, buddy?
No, 1 sec. Only you, when correcting a person, has to throw statements in like once again and again, Prez, for the 600th time, Prez. You can't just politely correct anyone. Drew, what do you got for tonight's game?
Aaron Fields, the mix of the two. I actually like that, Prez. But for tonight's game, guys, One of the advantages to being the host of the NFL opening line report, which is coming up at 1:00 Eastern here, is I get to really dissect these games in the NFL with one of the best in the business, Teddy Covers, in terms of where these lines are going. And to tell you the truth, guys, I've actually become a better NFL bettor because of it. I was a guy that got into this business in college football, and unfortunately, the last couple of weeks in college football have gone down, but in the NFL, it's gone up. And I've been able to read some of where these games are going. So sure enough, get the clients on the Patriots tonight, guys, at -6.5. Now it's moved across the key number of 7 here, but I still like the Pats tonight, Prez. I really do. I mean, Bill Belichick, it kind of rhymes with what Marco was saying earlier when I was coming on. Bill Belichick against young quarterbacks, that has been a great bet, just to kind of stifle their offense. The Bears offense has really been, very shaky to say the least. And this Pats defense has been playing good. So overall, I think that the Patriots win this game something like maybe 31-10, something in that. I think they kind of run away from the Bears tonight, Prez. I like the Pats.
So if this line remains where it is for the next 20 minutes, this is likely to be an emergency betting alert. This morning on the opening line report, we have a split line right now between Miami and Detroit. There are some 3.5s popping. There is still plenty of 3s out there. Total sitting at 50.5. Money showing for Miami right now. What are we going to do with the Dolphins and the Lions?
Teddy, I almost wish you didn't say that, because I was going to be like, you know what, guys? One thing I've been doing the last couple weeks here is behind the scenes with our producer, Dan, kind of joking around with where they're going. And sure enough, Teddy, I was going to give a little appetizer here to the NFL opening line viewers and say, you know what? If you like the Miami Dolphins, I can't speak for the legend Teddy Covers, but some things I've learned, watch out, guys, where this line is going. If you like the Finns here, I would get on them sooner rather than later. When you look at this Detroit Lions defense, guys, first of all, total defense, they rank dead last, 32. There's only 32 NFL teams here. And the fact that the Miami Dolphins get Tua back, played last night. I was there, heck of an atmosphere, fun time tailgating at the Rock. But what you can kind of get from this is their full season stats aren't going to be fully represented with Tua behind center. They're a lot better offense with him. He's the most accurate passer in college football history. And now he's here in the NFL. I think he's doing a pretty good job when healthy. So look to bet on the Finns when they're healthy. Plus the fact, hey, I know that they haven't really been that good against the spread, but I think Tua coming back is a different team now. In the Lions on the other side of things, I know they're at home in the Motor City, can be a tough place to play, but they've dropped 3 straight against the spread and really haven't been competitive, Teddy. So it's going to be the Dolphins for me at this number of 3. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 3.5, if not 4 by kickoff.
That been competitive. It was a 3-point game in the fourth quarter in Dallas yesterday until they started turning the ball over on every possession. Lions coming off their best defensive game of the year. They're coming off a 5-turnover game. They're coming home against an opponent that didn't score a point after halftime last week and is clearly having some offensive issues right now. Miami's full season stats are lying because their offense isn't as good whether Tua's in the lineup or not. At least at this stage of the campaign. Does any of that concern you about laying this price with the Dolphins?
Well, when you put it that way, Teddy, laying points on the road in the NFL can be tough, and maybe I would pump the brakes a little bit. I don't know. I guess, I did jump the gun in terms of saying not be competitive. That you bring up a great point. Last game out, they did play pretty good defensive football, but the 2 before that, I mean, letting up, nearly a half 100 against the Seahawks, that's concerning to me. And then getting blanked by the Patriots, kind of, lean that route, Teddy. But good points, man, and that's what makes a betting market.
Drew Martin. So, Drew, we've already established that you have a show coming up in 18 minutes with Teddy Covers. What else is on your plate for the week?
Well, I'm getting caught up here. Last night was fun. I was throwing them back a little bit, Prez, enjoying the Dolphins game. Something being in this business, you don't always get to go out and tailgate and enjoy the games. So kind of for the first time this season, I was able to do that. So getting caught up here, getting ready for the NFL opening line report. Be in with, $9 Monday here by probably the end of the day by 5 o'clock Eastern time. But overall, guys, Hey, thanks for having me, Prez and Teddy, and keep doing a great job. And huge shout out to the chat box. See Jessica, Big Daddy, Manuel, bunch of guys in here. So
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up, guys.
Drew, I got a question for you before you leave, and it's between me and you. So I've seen you drunk. You're an excellent drunk. You're loving, sweet. You're a bit touchy, which I personally like because you're handsome and you can put me in your arms anytime. I have never seen Teddy drunk. Now, Teddy is a miserable, cantankerous individual sober. Have you ever seen Teddy drunk, and what is he like?
Man, I can't say that I've ever seen him like really, had too much. I've seen him where he had a couple beers down in Costa Rica one time. And no, he was laughing a little bit more. He was having a good time, starting to speak a little bit of Spanish, Spanglish, if you will. And no, he was smiley, having a good time.
Oh,
but
so
no,
he's
I've
fun.
never seen him drunk.
Teddy?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm a happy drunk. Second of all, the infamous night that me and you went to the IHOP, where I was so stoned I couldn't even see in front of my face.
Yes.
That's the moral equivalent of me drunk, dude. All I want to do is laugh and eat.
Then I am asking you to start drinking early, Monday to Friday, please. Drew Martin, everyone. Guys, it's time for the Daily Presidential Address. Hey guys, okay, I got 3 bets for you tonight, 2 in ice hockey and 1 in basketball. Before we get into that, it's $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk. I want to let everyone know I got 2 plays for tonight in the NFL, 1 on the game and 1 prop bet. I'm absolutely murdering it in NFL. I'm killing it. I went 6-3 yesterday. I'm on a 22-10 NFL run. My prop bets are 68% in a year and a half of prop bets. So since the beginning of last season, I'm at 68%. This season alone, my prop bets 3-0 run, 10-5. I got one up tonight. My hockey has started off well, 6-4 on the season. I got 2 hockey bets up tonight, $9 Mondays. There's my promo. There's my advertisement. Now we'll get into some free picks. In hockey, I like Washington and New Jersey over the total of 6.5 goals. I think New Jersey's going to play to the over all year. I think Washington as well. I like the Leafs in Vegas under the total of 7. I know everybody thinks the Leafs, with their high-flying offense, is going to score a lot. This team is actually going to play to the under more than it plays to the over. And Vegas has a lot of speed. So they're going to be able to shut down the team. Lots of forechecking on the ice tonight. Leafs in Vegas under, and in the NBA, I like Memphis -1. That's it. Thank you all. We will see you tomorrow on a Wager Talk Today. Teddy, brother, I'm having a pastrami sandwich. Take us home.
Yeah, we want to thank Drew Martin, Meghan Payton, and Marco D'Angelo for joining us today. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy Monday to spend with us here on Wager Talk Today. Again, stay tuned right here on this channel, top of the hour. Drew Martin and myself are doing the NFL opening line report. And, of course, we'll be back tomorrow with Wager Talk Today, like we are every weekday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon for you back east. Between now and then, come on, you know what to do. Enjoy the games, and good luck.
Marco D'Angelo is like a fine wine as he just gets better with age. Since 1980, Marco has been one of the industry's leading handicappers, and this year is no different. Marco is currently the #1 handicapper at WagerTalk this season in college football in both winning percentages and money won, sitting at 27-15 for a net profit of 29 units. The rest of the college football season, including all the college football games, is $4.99. Last year, Marco was 13-4 in bowl games and for a net profit of 34 units. For a limited time, you can take $50 off that price when you use coupon code CFB50, making your final cost just $3.99. And for the first 10 who sign up, we have a free bonus, a $299 value, comping you a 30-day all-access subscription that will include all of Marco's NFL, NBA, and NHL plays for free. Why do you want to bet with Marco in October? Last October, Marco was number 1 in the NFL at WagerTalk. His NFL plays went 14, 7-2, netting 23 units. His NHL plays went 4-0, he was up 8 units. And his NBA plays went 3-1, up 4 units.